Let's first understand what is your understanding of consulting. What is consulting? Solving problems, giving solutions. What else? Make strategies. Right? Okay. Which are the big consulting firms? McKinsey, Deloitte, BCG, Bain and Company. Anybody heard of IDEO? IDEO? Right. How many of you have heard of IDEO except this person? So see, this is what we should have been doing last night. We should have been on the internet figuring out who are the new age consulting firms. Because McKinsey's business is going down, KPMG's business is going down, EY's business is going down, PwC is going down, Deloitte is going down. All the established consulting firms are facing a big challenge. Right? And why is that? Any guesses? In the last 10 years, which are the biggest brands in the last 10 years? Can I have some names?
Facebook,
Apple, Facebook,
Amazon,
Flipkart,
Uber,
Walmart now last 10 years. Alibaba, Oyo, Paytm, okay? Tinder, Airbnb, right? Tesla, right? So any of these are consulting firms. Any consulting firm predicted this would happen? McKinsey, have you seen? So go back and try to read articles from McKinsey from 2000, 2001, 2002. What innovations are they talking about? What are they talking about are going to be the next 20 years? How is the world going to change? Read about them, of course, today they have all adopted. So today if you read what McKinsey posts, some of the things are very relevant, right? But one of the big reasons why consulting firms are endangered today. Now they will never get endangered because consulting is consulting firms is like professional services, CAs, doctors, right? These are all professional services. Similarly, a consulting, right? You do what the world does. A doctor does. So if decades ago the doctor's job was just to understand what your problem is and diagnose and then give you one medicine, today the doctor's job is to use lots of instruments, again do the same thing, diagnose what you have and then give you a medicine. Right? So doctor is never going to get extinct, his methods are going to change. Similarly, consulting is never going to die. It's always going to be there. The question is, do you want to go and be that consultant who does what the world is doing and follow everybody? Because if you do that, you'll make money. You'll make money, but you'll just be another of those people. Lot of us are in that field where we are doing what everybody else is doing. But if you see where wealth is getting generated in the world, right? Where wealth is getting generated, where innovation is happening. Unfortunately, consulting firms are losing a lot of this edge. And that's why I mentioned if anybody has heard of IDEO. Because IDEO is one company that has done innovation in the field of consulting. Right? Please go back and read about IDEO, what IDEO does. Why is it a consulting firm? Okay, why has this innovation happened in the last 10 years? Whatever innovation we talk about, it started from Google, Apple, Tesla, and all that. What is driving all this innovation?
Digital.
Digital. What is digital?
Digital economy.
Digital economy. What is digital economy? But internet has been around for 3 decades now.
But the user base is
Are you saying that a villager in India coming online is the reason why an electric car is coming around today?
Are we coming to slow out of stagnation in the industry?
Stagnation of which industry?
Talk about Tesla, the auto.
Sorry.
Talking about Tesla, it's the automotive sector. It's been going pretty much the same probably the past decade or so. So you need to innovate because usually there is just changes in your power and your torque.
Nature and people who were not there earlier. So that was always there.
The cost for building the car now has decreased from 10 years. Like,
Cost of building an electric car has decreased.
yeah, because of the innovation they have done.
Earlier, the range of the electric car was not that much. Now the Tesla's range is too far.
Need of electric car has aggravated over the years. Like previously, electric car was not that of a necessity, but now electric cars with Tesla.
What about e-commerce? Okay, let's take that argument for electric cars. What about e-commerce? Was e-commerce not that strong the requirement 15 years ago in India and today it is more?
So we have less time now. We have less time.
We have less time now.
So I think one important aspect from the technological point of view is like there's a lot of development in the field of telecom, IT sector. Then similarly, if we see other sectors also, like we are talking about Tesla. So in past 10 years, we are seeing a lot of different fields. Like earlier, there was a concept of specialization, but now, which is the concept of fourth industrial revolution, if people are projecting this way, like different streams are merging together to form.
Different streams are merging together to form something, right?
Yes.
Okay. Who are the people behind Tesla, behind Amazon?
Elon Musk.
Sorry? Yeah, no, behind all of these, all the big brands that we just spoke about. Visionary leaders, where do they come from? New York? New York? Any New York leaders, Los Angeles, Mumbai, Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong, London? Where are they coming from? Are any of these cities on the map when you talk about information? Everything is Silicon Valley, right? Last 10 years, everything is Silicon Valley. Whether it is an electric car, whether it is e-commerce, whether it is solar revolution, everything is Silicon Valley, right? Why? The biggest of the bankers are sitting in New York, right? Biggest of the bankers sitting in New York. The next biggest is in London. All the money is in these cities. And suddenly, where does innovation come from? Silicon Valley. Which is the automotive capital of US? Detroit, right? Where does Tesla operate from? Texas, right?
Regulations are less.
What is this?
Regulations are less.
Regulations? No, regulations are the same across most.
It's about the culture of that.
It's about the culture of that place.
It's not like when a person wants to start a startup, they don't think about the failure.
Okay, yeah, that's a very valid point. I mean, they are not too concerned about failure, so they are more open to innovation. A lot of innovations happen in that place. That's true. What else?
VCs, accessibility to
Venture capital. Okay, access to venture capital, but the biggest VCs are actually sitting in New York. That's the
but
point.
they have more they are more open to ideas and they are more risk averse. Like they can take more risk. If it comes to a new idea, and that is what actually creates a market in Silicon Valley. Because if you have a new idea, you can go and directly. You know that there will be someone who can actually get and create a startup.
How many of you follow Elon Musk on Twitter or Facebook? Okay, so how many of you heard of the Hyperloop? When did Elon Musk propose Hyperloop? About 2 years back, right? Okay, so how did Hyperloop start? Did he set up the first Hyperloop and then he created a block experiment, he created a tunnel between San Francisco and Los Angeles and then started a car operation and then he said to the world, see, here is Hyperloop. No, right? How did it start? He came up with the idea first and he popularized that idea amongst you. Right? So one thing that the Silicon Valley has mastered very well, which unfortunately should have been mastered by all the consulting firms, is how do I communicate my idea across and create an impact even before the idea becomes reality. Another reason why a Toyota with its priors coming far before the Tesla, could not sell so many in the market. The Tesla actually had overbooking even before it's produced the first Tesla car, right? They were overbooked. They had booked more cars even before they set up their factory. Their factory got set up later. Once they got the orders, now they are trying to figure out how do I create a factory that can generate so much, right? And let's say had they not gotten that kind of an interest in Tesla, they would have said to hell with it. I'll set up a small factory or I'll outsource the whole electric car to Toyota, who anyways has a technology. I will rebrand it with Tesla and sell it to, let's say, 100 people who have applied. Right? With all these outsourcing and everything available, you can do that. But where does it start? It starts with coming up with the idea, obviously. But then, coming up with the idea is also not important. It starts with communication. It starts with how do you bring that idea, how do you attract people to that idea, and how do you create a network of people who get associated with it. Right? Creating a network and popularizing an idea are feeding into each other. Right? When you have the network of the right people, that idea will kind of come back and get fed, and it starts getting multiplied. It starts propagating faster, and it starts creating a bigger impact. However, there is absolutely no way in which you can spread an idea without having the network in place. For example, I have this fantastic idea that let's create a green data center. Fantastic idea. We create a solar panel farm, then we put some servers below it, and then this data center is self-sufficient. Let's say this is an idea. Now I tweet this idea out to all of you, right? I just tweet it to all of you. And then you tweet it further, it reaches to, let's say, a few NITI alumni. Do you think it will succeed? How many NITI alumni are there who have the kind of funds to create a solar farm from data center? Right? So selecting the audience, having the right people to become the agents to spread your idea is something, it feeds back into popularizing idea. Yes, these two are interrelated. But creating the right kind of audience is a prerequisite. You first need to know who should be the audience. Right? And then to that audience, you communicate it in the right way, and that audience further communicates it to other people. Right? These are two important aspects that you need to learn. And to a great extent, even in consulting, they try to apply this